Board games and life. I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And today I'm going for a walk. I'm going to continue walking as I talk. I am going to be moving tomorrow. I packed all of my stuff before, including many board games. That's what I'm packing today. Board games. So we can take them away. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night, good whatever it is, wherever you are. This is Bezzy Beats and Brief for Blether. And yeah, I'm just chatting about moving. I just thought I'd do I just realised that this is probably a bit of a noisy place to go somewhere hopefully a little bit quieter. But yeah, yesterday I didn't do much packing. That wasn't ideal. I really would have preferred to. I need to do packing. I need to. And so at this point, it's like, yeah, who cares how well it's just get try to finish at the time that still allows me to sleep a reasonable amount. Would be nice. But did manage to work quite. Let's call them mild achievements. Highlights, recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. Oh my gosh, I just saw a painting of monkey things on a building. That's a recent highlight. Can you see monkey things on the building? That's quite cool. Anyway, so yeah, recent highlights. I'm going to say that wandering around, walking around, that's genuinely a highlight. Drinking water, putting notes into people's doorstops because I'm moving, and I said, hey, I'm the neighbour, I'm going to be moving near you. I had two notes short, but I put everyone's doorstep, picked those two, and one of those two is the person who I've chatted to anyway. Anyway, I think, what else can I talk about? Recent highlights. I did have some cereal. Yeah, not a lot of things, stuff has happened. Other than that, the achievements. I feel like I shared some info. So, Gabby wrote a long article about how Mike Selinker was emotionally manipulative and abusive, abusing their position of power. And yeah, I shared it with a few folk. That felt like something worth doing. Someone in the group where I shared it suggested that maybe it wasn't a place. Her opinion thought that was an interesting discussion. It wasn't a good place to share it yet. To which I thought, well, at what point would it be the right place to share? Because when someone comes forwards with news that someone is terrible for whatever reason, I mean, this feels like an important enough thing to share so that other people can read this and make up their own mind. it's, I think I remember on another discussion thread about, yeah, it's totally separate matter. Someone replying to something Glim saying something like, oh, don't worry, your arguments don't concern us. I'm still enjoying Carcassonne every week with my friends. Do not worry. And that's toxic positivity. I mean, it's like saying, oh, everything's brilliant. I mean, sure, focus on good stuff if you need to. Remind yourself that there is good stuff. But let's not pretend that's everything. Sorry, let's not pretend. Let's not be like, oh, this is amazing, because it isn't. And things are incredible. I mean, some things are. And there's, you know, manipulation and friends. That's just not right. And so, yeah, the whole notion of toxic positivity is a bit of a. To me, it was a new concept to me quite recently. But again, I don't think it should be incumbent upon any individual to pay attention to something. If you need to absolutely mute the thread, don't reply to it and do what you have to do. But if you're saying, oh, this should not be talked about, this should not be talked about here is a separate statement to this should not be talked about. And this should not be talked about is, no, that's wrong. But this should not be talked about here, possibly I can get behind that. Anyway, that is honestly like yesterday that I saw, shit, this happened, and upsetting, and to a Discord group where I know that people discuss such things, and yeah, like remind myself that there are people that even in the discussion space are, I guess I what's going on with Mike Selinker for with anyone. I mean, arguably you could say that I don't know for right now. I mean, it'd be deceiving me. I think there's a bird, but maybe that was a figment of my imagination. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, look, I'm being slightly facetious, but I think the point remains that even when something is scientifically proven that this is the best that we have, sure, you can only really prove things with certainty in a mathematical construct. And that's the thing. And hello, Harry87, it's good to see you. And yeah, I guess in my mind, I'm thinking, at what point is it okay to share an essay that discredits someone? Because sure, it might be that the person writing it wasn't telling the truth, but it's still new information. I mean, there's a reason that testimonials are some sort of evidence, but remember, outside of a mathematical construct, nothing can be 100% proven. In maths, you can have a perfect proof. In science, in chemistry, you cannot have a perfect proof in chemistry, let alone in something where it's someone's word against someone else's word. And at a certain point, there's also the question of, well, if you do care about these things, let's say you've got 50% certainty that this might be true. Let's say that. And then let's say you're deciding whether to buy this thing or this other thing, and then both of them are pretty much in the ballpark of what you want, you're not sure. Well, in that example, at least it might be, okay, I am going to do that. It's not like the old statement of those, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Yeah, it's kind of true, but at the same time, that's not just an excuse for us to throw up our hands and say, don't do anything. If you don't feel like you're able to sting them as much as you can, and I don't know, it's really a minefield of ethics and personal responsibility and social responsibility. So I don't have the answers, but that's just been what's going on through my mind. At what point do you think it's reasonable to share an essay that discredits someone? But for now, I'm going to say, yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I have to, and if you're watching and you want to share, what are you up to personally would try to avoid doing business with, like whether buying things from a certain supermarket or online retailer, or maybe there's someone, and I don't need to know names, just are there people, do you make those kinds of decisions? On the other side, are there people that you try to support? They clearly care about humans because they care. Over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. I am going to go back home and I'm going to do a whole lot of packing. I'm not even going to have breakfast first. I'm going to do a lot of packing. Then I'm going to have something to eat. Then I'm going to do some more packing and maybe take a break. And then I'll do some more packing and I'll take a break and so forth until the end of the day. So basically alternating packing and taking breaks as needed. That is me for the day. So thank you very much. And let me get my banners up. Well, I never talked about a brilliant thing. Brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? I am going to say, actually, warning people brilliant publicly can be brilliant. Look, Elizabeth Hargrave shared this essay saying, I've been warned about this individual personally, but whisper networks don't help those people who are new to the industry. Secret whispers do not help someone that that people don't know needs helping. I mean, someone might know, okay, Elizabeth, you're a woman, and this person kind of uses their power over women in these particular ways, and that's problematic. But what if there's someone new to the industry that happens to be a woman that maybe would be in a position of vulnerability? And so, yeah, sharing this information publicly, I'm going to say, is a brilliant thing. So for now, we talked about quite a bit. Talked about packing games, talked about packing stuff, but basically talked about me being distracted all day tomorrow and me having to do a lot more. If you want to check me out, I am Stuffed by Bez everywhere. If you want to know when I'm streaming, I am streaming every day at 10 a.m. UK time. I will just want to say thank you very much, everyone. Lots of love. And the only thing left for me to say is bye, 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 bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye.